Today we are making the classic French soup potato leek, but my version is made without cream. Keep watching to see what the secret ingredient is. You'll also love that it's ready in just 30 minutes. Let's get started. Yukon Gold Potatoes make the creamiest potato soup. And to start, we will dice them in about 1/4 to a 1/2 inch dice, just small enough so that they cook quickly. And as long as they are evenly diced, they'll all cook at the same rate. And now, the other star of the show, are leeks. So I am actually going to use my kitchen scale here because leeks can vary in size so much. So as I cut them, I'm gonna weigh them so that I have the right amount. So chop off the root end, and then the dark green parts, you can save these for stock. I would wash them well because leeks are pretty sandy. So it's important that we do clean them well. So I am gonna cut them in half, and then I'll slice them in like a half moon shape, just about 1/4 inch thick or so. Those 3 leeks, because they were pretty massive, weigh about 420 grams, which is right in between the range. So I'm actually only going to use 3 of them today. I'm going to clean these really well. So I'm going to rinse them with water and zhuzh them around a little bit and get any dirt that's in between these layers out. So before we get started on the soup, I'm going to mince some garlic using my favorite garlic press. No need to peel it, just plop in the clove, squeeze. So easy. The butter is melted, and first we're gonna saute the leeks. Along with a generous pinch of salt, it'll help soften them up and bring out the flavor. And this is like our oniony base that's gonna really add a lot of flavor to the soup. So we're gonna cook these down for about 5 to 7 minutes until they're really soft and tender. We don't want them to get brown. So if they start to look like they're drying up a bit, just add a little bit of water. Now for some thyme. I didn't chop it beforehand because honestly, I kind of forgot. But since the soup is blended up, I'm just gonna pull off the leaves and throw them right in. We'll add that minced garlic too, and then a pinch of red pepper flakes. Just add a really nice depth of flavor. It doesn't have to be spicy. And a tiny pinch of white pepper. Again, it adds just a really nice depth of flavor and a little bit like, what is that? And then 2 bay leaves. Okay, and we'll let the garlic saute for a second. Now for the potatoes, we'll just pour them on in. And the vegetable stock. Sorry, that was long. Stir it together, and then we'll bring this to a boil so that those potatoes can get cooking. It'll simmer for about 15 to 20 minutes, depending on the size of your potatoes, just until they are soft and fork tender. Okay, they're ready. Before we blend it though, I am gonna taste the broth just to make sure that the salt levels are pretty spot on because potatoes absorb so much salt. You might need to add more than you think, so let's give it a try. I'm gonna add just a little tiny pinch. Now, I'm gonna take out the bay leaves. That was hot. Maybe don't use your hands. I'm gonna use an immersion blender today. If you just have a regular blender, you can carefully ladle it into it, but just make sure you vent the top so that the steam can escape. Now, you can blend it to your desired, I guess, consistency. You want some potato chunks in there. You obviously don't have to blend it smooth, but I'm gonna keep going because I want it pretty smooth here. Okay, now for the finishing touches, we're gonna stir in just a little bit of coconut milk. Now it doesn't taste coconut milky, it just adds a really nice creaminess, and because we have so many other flavors, any coconut hint just kind of disappears. But if you are not averse to dairy or anything, you could also use half and half, so either will work. The final touch is a little squeeze of lemon. Now I know I added some extra salt. The acid acts similar to salt, bringing out those flavors. So you might want to hold off on adding salt until you add this lemon. We'll just squeeze half of it in. Give it a stir. All right, let's serve this up. All right, let's dig in. Oh, it looks so creamy and luxurious. Can't wait. Man, there's no better combination than potato and leeks. It's so smooth and creamy, and you cannot even taste the coconut milk. Trust me on that. So delicious. You saw how easy it was to make. You can serve it for dinner, as a side, an appetizer. You really cannot go wrong. Leave a comment and let me know how you enjoy it. I will see you back here next week for another meatless meal that everyone will love. Until then, happy eating. So good. All right, okay. Some garlic. I'm sorry, I was like gonna burp there. Potatoes a lot.